Welcome back to Behind the Lyrics of our new song, You Are the One.
Give us a little context about why you are writing a hopeful song in such a tumultuous time.
This is more of a praise and worship type song. I remember when I went camping with my dad. We went camping quite a bit growing up, and we would love to go to areas where it was really dark, there was no lights, and we would look up and just see the stars and count the stars, and it made us really feel close to God. And that's one thing we really enjoyed about camping, is just seeing God's creation, something you really don't think about that much when you're in the city, because we're in the city majority of our lives and work and all the hustle and bustle, and sometimes it just takes us away from the realness of God. So I wanted to write a song that praised God and to thank Him for these stars and the planets and just the things out there, the wonderful things that He has given to us.
That's beautiful, man. What does praise and worship mean to you, and what does it do for you? Is that a part of your daily practice?
Yes, praise and worship is a daily part of our practice. We only go to church once a week, but we do our personal Bible studies at home, and sometimes my wife and I will have spiritual discussions as well.
Lovely, man. And what does that bring to your life, in your personal life and in your spiritual life?
Brings me closer to God. It makes God a lot more real than if I were just going day by day without acknowledging God, then He probably would not be so real.
Can you encourage someone who's feeling that way, somebody who might be watching this video? Go ahead.
Depression is a very big thing going on in this world, and suicides are on the increase. And I think part of the reason why these type of things happen, people don't feel a purpose in life, and without God there's not much of any purpose in life, and you can feel very hopeless and down and depressed, and that gets people into drugs and alcohol, and it leads them down even a path of destruction, literally.
One of my favorite parts of your song is the bridge. It's a very resplendent and triumphant situation that speaks about the death of Jesus Christ and a love that we cannot fathom. Can you, in your own words, describe the love of Jesus that you have felt and what that sacrifice means to you, and use that as a caveat to kind of encourage somebody who might be struggling with some sort of depression like that?
It means everything, just all the pain and suffering that He went through. You're reading in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and it's just amazing to hear what He went through for us to die for our sins. Even when people weren't so nice to Him, they spit in His face and beat Him, and He did things that we couldn't do in this life, and He bore our sins and died on the cross, and that's something that you and I probably wouldn't do. And it's hard to imagine that He would do that for us, but that shows so much love that we can't even imagine what kind of love Jesus Christ has for us.
Can you kind of bring that love home for us and use it to encourage somebody who actually is struggling with depression too?
Jesus Christ had the most unselfish love you could ever imagine, more than anyone that's ever lived on this earth. And He's the number one example for us, and He's been the number one example in my life. By reading the Gospels, you read His life story, and I've learned quite a bit to apply in my life. And I've even had people comment me on that they could see God's presence in me as we talk and have conversations. That really makes me feel good, and hopefully that means I'm on the right track in my life. But Him dying for us on the cross means so much, and it's just hard to imagine someone going through that pain and suffering that He did, and something probably none of us would probably do, but he did it all for us, and we really do appreciate that.
That's beautiful, man. So selfless love seems to be the way of the divine Christ at heart. That's a beautiful thing to hear. How about one more encouragement for those who are going through something real dark over this last year? I know a lot of us have stepped into depression and slumped in as we kind of see the world kind of imploding on the stage in front of us. Can you just, again, give us another reminder of what selfless love can do for your situation? Can it pull you out of that stress? Can it pull you out of dissension and arguing with your family? Can we talk about that just a little bit before we send us off?
Yes, even worrying about things we're really focusing on ourselves. And when you think about it, it's human nature to worry about things. It's normal. It's not uncommon. It's something that we all do. But when we put our focus more on God, then the worrying is not. It's not really there as much. Worrying is a distraction in our lives. It can really cause us to lose focus on things.
It sounds like you're kind of reminding us that like life is a lot more than what we're just seeing here, more than just materialism,
right,
more than just
yeah.
flesh and blood. Can you encourage somebody who is locked in the materialistic paradigm because of everything that's happened last year?
Right.
You know, we were talking about worry, we're talking about stress, and that's all very low compared to the higher things that Jesus Christ has for us. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
That spiritual experience.
Worry and stress, it can cause us to go to things that we don't always want to go to. And sometimes we get around the wrong people, the wrong crowd, and we get into maybe drinking too much or even drugs. We start out maybe sometimes on the lighter drugs and end up on the heavier drugs, and we ruin our whole lives. It really affects our families. It breaks families apart. It causes divorces, broken friendships. And when we keep that focus on God, we're not going to be going down that route. If you ever get a chance, if you're an outdoors person, maybe go camping with family members and go experience that experience I've had with my father, where we can look up into the sky and see the heavens, and it brings us closer to God. Things are a lot more real than just the normal everyday hustle and bustle in the city. And this song, You Are the One, is a very special song to me. It's a song that helps me focus on God, and I recommend that you check this song out. It is now on YouTube and Spotify, and you can download this song. Hopefully you listen to it over and over again. I know it'll get old probably, but listen to it, and we really appreciate all your support, and we will see you next time. Worship and praise, you are holy.